Welcome to the Jordan Leer program, Fight Edition.
Oh, shit.
This is my guest, Bryan Burris. What up, dude?
How's it going, Jordan Leer?
I'm doing good. So you want to fight? This is how we start every podcast. We just start fighting. No, I'm just kidding. I've been on Bryan's podcast before, Invade The Decade.
Yeah.
He's been in some artistic short films that I've directed. And Stephen Haas has written.
Yeah.
We're old pals. We're going to hear about his fight history.
That's right. I don't got a lot of fights for you, though. I'll be honest with you. I feel like I grew up, went to public school, so there was always like fights happening, you know, which actually has been shocking to me. Like I have a lot of did you go to public school?
Yeah.
I feel like you read like a public school.
I didn't know that like
me.
private schools were a thing.
Bro, me neither. I grew up in a super small town that had one high school. That was it. We
California,
didn't have
right?
Yeah, just like in the mountains in California, just in the middle of nowhere. And so we just had the one high school. Like the joke I say is like we had a high dropout rate, but like that's not like if they kicked you out of school, you were fucked. Your parents have to move for you to continue school, you know? So like there was always fights. I never got in one.
Yeah.
But I definitely like saw a lot. I remember it being the most exciting thing, you know?
Yeah. So hold on. What's your martial arts experience?
Martial arts experience. Okay. So I got a yellow belt in judo as a kid.
What age did you take judo? Judo. Ooh, a little grappling background to Mr.
Yeah,
Burris.
I learned how to like do like one or two throws.
Okay.
And I think I was probably in like I want to say 5th or 6th grade. Maybe 5th grade.
Little
Pretty
school
young.
around the corner in town or something?
Yeah, just like in the local local rec center.
Judo, at the rec center.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. I'll tell you what I remember I immediately didn't like about it, and this is why I'm a pussy and never got in a fight, I think. Like, I didn't like wearing the gi. Like, it felt, like, itchy, and, like, I didn't like it.
I know. You know what? I was signed up for a judo class in college, and I pretty much dropped out because of the gi. Now, I like the gi. It's just I had done jiu-jitsu before and fucked with it, and I knew it was a bitch, and I was just like, man, do I really want to spend an extra $40 for this fucking thing? And
right.
Nah, I don't want to get
What's the reasoning? Do you know why you have to wear that?
Well, basically, it's like, it's tradition.
Yeah, I know.
That's like the only reason.
Yeah,
because I don't even know if, in jiu-jitsu, there's jiu-jitsu without the gi. They call it, it's no gi jiu-jitsu. But there's different moves that you can do with the gi specifically.
Interesting.
Okay, like
that makes
certain
sense.
chokes that you need the gi for.
To grab onto.
Yeah, it's a sleeve choke that actually, does it. So if you don't have that, it's like it's a totally different game.
That makes
sense.
So
in judo, it's like most all their shit, it's dependent on having the hold.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I remember judo, like the main thing about it being was that you just like, you got people to the ground was kind of what it came down to, right?
Yeah.
Was that like the idea?
I think that's the thing that confused me because it's like you don't pin people per se.
I don't think so. Like I don't remember like you getting on top of them or anything like
No,
that.
I think you get points for throwing
them.
Right.
Which is kind of dope. Like if I continued with that and I was like could just walk down the street and like had the ability to throw someone across the street if I needed to because they were attacking me, that'd be pretty cool.
So you think you've lost it? You don't have that skill set?
You know what? I think I could do that. I think I could still maybe if they were in the right exact position, I could grab them and throw them over my shoulder or whatever. Maybe.
You know that's Ronda Rousey's shit, right?
Judo?
Judo. That's specifically her.
Okay.
Yeah, she was in the Olympics. I don't know if she placed, but she was in the Olympics.
Whoa.
No, she did. I think she got silver.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
And yeah, that's her shit. And she was the most badass in the UFC because of that. Like, she knocked people out, but the real thing was they were fearful of just getting to the ground with her because she'd take them down and she'd armbar you. You could armbar in judo, which is weird because you don't do chokes, you don't do the other submissions.
But that shit's crazy, man. In jiu-jitsu, do you actually like choke people out and shit?
Fuck yeah. Oh fuck yeah.
Fuck that,
That's
man.
like
Fuck that. Have you been choked out?
Oh yeah. Totally.
What?
Yeah.
What's that like?
Well, I tapped out,
Yeah.
But you do it all. I don't know. Like if you're going to a jiu-jitsu gym and you roll at the end of practice, you go with people and like if you go with I've been choked tons of times. Tons of times. I've never passed out.
Right.
The most I've had is we did the test because he wanted to show our instructor wanted to show us like how it's a blood choke.
Okay.
How a really good choke is very light. You relax. You don't harden, stiffen up your muscles. You basically just slowly contract, just like a snake does.
Yeah.
And a person, if you really lay a good blood choke on them, they just won't even feel it. It'll be like going to sleep. And so he would do that, go around and he puts in the little chokes, and we like kind of feel like getting high, actually. Kind of the...
Wow. And then you start drifting off? Then what?
Basically, well, yeah. We tap out way before that.
Yeah,
so I've never went out. Not from that.
Okay.
Judo, though, man. That's pretty...
Yeah,
okay.
Man. I mean, like, I was so young, so my memories are so little. Like, I have memories of rolling up the blue mats.
Okay.
I have memories of like getting the yellow belt, which basically was like you showed up for.
Yeah, you've paid a few $100 by now. You get a yellow one.
There you go.
Then we'll start putting tips on.
I remember immediately not being excited for the belts. I don't know if that's like just the like boring white man about me, where like the idea of a belt was not exciting to me. Like I'm gonna get my ass kicked.
Everyone else loved the belt.
Everyone loves the belt.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, look at all the things you get a belt in fights.
Did you feel like tougher that you like I'm a yellow? Were you one of those that went around to the playground? You're like I'm a yellow belt now.
I think that's the other thing is I don't think I felt like I could. I still didn't feel like I could kick the guys' asses I was worried about. You know.
That's more honorable because it's like you're like, man, this doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Hoist Gracie, the guy who won UFC 1, he's like a black belt, only covers like 2 to 3 inches of your ass. You have to cover the rest of it.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure that if you go further into it, you obviously gain skills that are like incredible.
Pay a few more $100, get the next.
Yeah, it's kind of like a cult, huh? All things are like this, huh?
Everything is. Stand up.
Yep.
It for sure is.
Absolutely.
Fighting totally is, man.
Yeah, everyone's just buying into this thing, man.
Definitely the UFC is. A lot of fighters by the end of their career, they feel like they've gotten fucked over.
Because they're just a part of this one
Because they didn't make nearly as much as what they did, and they realized that, and the UFC does make a ton of money.
Right.
The fight, not necessarily all
Right.
the fighters, and they're like, man, I just kind of gave my life to this thing and didn't get anything out of it.
I feel like that's the life of like 75% of athletes, and nobody like is willing to admit that. Like everyone likes to just be like, oh, they're all millionaires, they're making, but it's like most of them are like broke by the end of this, and their bodies are destroyed, man.
Most Olympians for sure, because Olympians they don't make. I mean, some do on some sponsors, but come on now, like real money. It's
not real money. Like you better hope you get a good. Like, you better hope you get a gold medal and some sort of iconic shot that they can use for a Coca-Cola commercial. Because if you don't have those two things, they don't care. Like,
for sure.
Even if you get a gold medal in something that's boring to watch, they're not going to put it on the commercial, and you're fucked.
Yeah.
They don't care.
Yeah, no, like Ronda Rousey and Daniel Cormier, this other UFC fighter, they were both Olympians, and they were broke all throughout training and being in the Olympics, and they didn't make any money until they got to the UFC.
Man. UFC.
So you took judo a couple years, you say.
Uh-huh.
And anything else? Any other training? You ever take a karate class?
Never took a karate class. Never took anything like that. I remember wanting to take karate classes because I feel like as a kid it was just like a thing that everyone thought was cool, kind of.
It was popular across the nation.
Yeah.
I took taekwondo.
Right,
There was a taekwondo place in our small town. Nothing.
Yeah.
We didn't have judo.
Right. See, we had judo. That was the one that they had there.
Had one up on you.
Yeah.
Stephen Haas, our buddy.
Uh-huh.
Great writer, Stephen Haas.
Oh, yeah.
Terrible stand-up comedian, though. Hapkido.
Okay, what's that one?
It's like a combination of a little bit of, it's like karate, but a little bit more grappling.
Oh, okay.
He sat across from me. He said, I could grapple you to the ground right now.
Oh, shit.
And
Did you guys fight?
No.
Oh.
No.
Okay.
No. We fought later over a girl.
Oh, there you go.
Haas, terrible stand-up.
I'm trying to think if I could beat Stephen Haas in a fight.
I couldn't beat him at anything.
That's kind of how I feel
stand-up.
too.
He actually is very good.
He's hilarious.
He's actually too good.
He is. He's very,
so
very
you took
funny.
the judo. You never took a boxing class.
Never took a boxing class. Definitely put the boxing gloves on before, and
you
messed
did?
around a
With
little
some
bit.
buddies?
With some buddies in the yard,
Oh, okay.
But like nothing like crazy, man. I was never trying to get hit in the head. Like since I was a kid, like I didn't want to do it. Like,
did you play football?
No, my parents wouldn't let me play football.
Good.
Man. I know.
I did, and I wish I didn't. I think about it now.
I wanted to play, and they were like, No.
I really wanted to because I want to be a part of it, wear all this shit.
Right.
I saw Varsity Blues.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
it's like was football was probably huge where you grew up too.
Oh,
right?
because it's like all there is.
Dude, it was the
So
biggest
it
thing
has
in my
to
high
be.
school. Like, yeah.
It's really lame.
Yeah, so you did that.
Yeah, I did the football. I mean, I did baseball. I did wrestling. I did a little martial arts after high school, a little jiu-jitsu.
Okay.
So that was my shit, man.
Yeah.
So how old were you when you got in your first fight?
Man, I've never really been in a fight. Like, I really haven't.
Most people haven't.
Yeah. And I was thinking about it. Like, there's definitely
there's something.
I can tell you. I've had some memories, man. There's some things. So
that's the thing.
I'll tell you, like, it's weird, man. I'm very good at trying to avoid confrontation, I think, So, like, the ones that I remember, I have, like, 2 that I can kind of think of.
Okay.
And one was like I went to fucking what's that place called at Universal Studios City Walk with the mechanical bulls, Saddle Ranch or something like that?
They got one on Sunset.
They have one on Sunset and they have one at Universal City Walk. Have you been to one at Universal City Walk?
It's the first place I ate when I ever moved here.
Amazing.
Yeah.
If you go, have you been to City Walk at night to go to the bars in there?
Yeah.
So at the end of the thing, you have to go all the way to the end to get to Saddle Ranch, right?
Okay, yeah.
And it's like I used to live in the valley. We would go there from time to time. I never went to Saddle Ranch and didn't see a fight break out. Every single time.
Really?
Every single time there'd be a fight.
I didn't know this.
Yes.
I need to go to more Saddle Ranches.
Bro, I'm telling you, if you were looking to see some fights, that's what I would tell you that place should be known for.
Really?
Every time I saw a fight there. One time I was walking back to the parking lot and this guy wanted to like fight me and I was like, damn, this fucking sucks. Like, so it was like me and this other dude and we were with like a couple, I think like 2 or 3 girls,
Yeah.
And like we were like all going together, And we go to this place and we're having a good time and we're leaving and I'm thinking, wow, I didn't see a single fight this time at Saddle Ranch. This is amazing. And right when we leave, this fucking dude starts hitting on one of the girls that we're with, Just starts saying stuff to her. And like at first he's just trying to like talk to her or whatever and we're like letting it go,
Hey baby, I want to fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck those pussy ass bitch guys you with.
Yeah. Like something like that, exactly. And like she's not my girl. This girl's not his girl. Like this is just a girl, that we're with, but we're with this girl. So we're going to, make sure she's like safe or whatever. And so like I'm letting him go for a minute, like talk, whatever. And then it's like then she tells him, hey, we're not interested. And then he keeps going, And so I'm like, hey, buddy, she said she didn't want to talk to you. Like, good night, And so then he like turned to me and was like, fuck you, you motherfucker, like, and so then I was just like, okay, and like I turned around and just kept walking, and he's behind me, but like he's yelling at me the whole time, like a dumbass, so like I could tell how far behind me he was.
We ain't fucking, then we fighting, baby.
Yeah, exactly.
We ain't fucking, then we fighting.
Exactly. So I just hear him behind me yelling, and I'm like, all right, I'm just not gonna turn around like until I hear him coming closer, just keep going, just keep walking, and he's just yelling, and I'm like, just wait, like, and we get like almost to the car and finally some security. And this is like City Walk is big. You have to walk a ways to your car.
Yeah, I've been there many a time.
And so finally like security like stops this dude because like he's obviously like yelling at us and I just kept walking. So that was one I definitely remember.
Okay. How long ago was that? That couldn't have been.
So I was probably, I was probably like, I would say I was probably like 6 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. So kind of a while ago, but.
Now, have you ever had any shoving match? Any sort of, even young? Going young, like never been on the playground.
I feel like I definitely pushed.
Soccer.
Yeah, I definitely pushed some kids around playing soccer.
Yeah. Okay. Soccer.
Nothing crazy.
Specifically.
I'm
just like guessing because that was my place.
We would play football on the like without helmets and stuff, like tag football or whatever. But then it would always turn into tackle football, and so then kids would get mad at each other.
Somebody's tackling a little too hard.
Yeah,
Somebody's pushing them to the ground.
Yeah. Dude, I always hated that kid in every sport. I feel like there was always one kid on every team that was just gonna like kind of almost hurt you, and it was like, man, what the fuck, dude? You're pushing me too hard right now,
I think I was that kid. I watched too many sports movies, man.
Just went hard. I'm willing to fucking break some legs.
I'm with my teammates. I'm like, let's kill them.
Yeah.
Let's go kill them. Let's go kill these guys. Let's go kill these 6-year-olds.
It is funny how
so they're gonna die.
Yeah, they have to die.
We're gonna fuck their girlfriends. I said all this as a 6-year-old.
Hell yeah. Yeah, nothing crazy, man. Like I really can't remember any specifics like that. Like I remember like, maybe getting in a little shoving matches with a football game or something maybe, but that's it. I remember this other time though. I went to to this concert with this girl.
With what was what was the band?
Incubus.
Oh my god. That is one of my favorite bands. I saw them too in like 2010, the summer at DTE. Tell me your story.
That was probably around
Tell
the same.
me every
probably
detail.
Around the same time I saw them. I'm not an Incubus fan. I'll be honest with you. I
Get
didn't
the
really
fuck
know.
out of here, then. No, stay. We'll fight.
I didn't. This is gonna be my first fight. I got in a fight with Jordan Leer about
I'm gonna
Incubus.
kill him and then some more 6-year-olds.
And I was there with this girl, and like we were like friends. We were like nothing, like serious, but I'm with her at this concert.
I put my finger on a pussy once,
I'm at this
It
concert.
was my sister.
I'm at this concert with her. She wanted to go to this concert. I'm like, I'll go with you. So we go, and we're like in the front row of this Incubus concert. And it's, it's like a concert, so people are kind of getting pushed around. It's kind of a mosh pity kind
like
of thing.
general.
General admission,
Yeah, I was in there too.
Uh-huh.
I was where I was at.
And there's this girl with her boyfriend right in front of us. And the girl I'm with, like, bumps into her. And then she, like, turns around and says something to this girl.
Pardon me while I burst into flames.
What's the lead singer of that fucking band?
Brandon Boy.
That dude didn't even make it through the first song before he took his shirt off, dude. It was, like, not even one song. And his shirt was off.
I love Incubus. Brandon something. I don't know.
Anyways, so then they have this conversation, and then the girl turns around, and then the girl I'm with grabs this girl by the hair and pulls her down. Yeah, and so then her boyfriend turns around and like looks at me, and I'm like, oh no, like
do we have to do it now too?
I'm definitely Oh, now I have to fight this guy. Like I feel like I have, this dude's allowed to take a swing at me. I feel like, And he looked at me and like again, security was like right there, and the girl I'm with goes. Just points away, like she's like, it's them, like they need to get kicked out. And the girl that she pulled the hair down, there's the ones that they escort out. Like I don't know how it happened.
They're like, all right, works for us. We gotta get one of them out.
Yeah, and so they got her out, and then that was another close fight. I feel like, and then I couldn't enjoy the one Incubus song I knew at the end because I was still shaken up.
I wonder what they played. I wish you were.
Yeah, I think that was got to be it. I know that one.
Except you were thinking of the people that get kicked out. You're like, I'm glad you're not.
I'm like,
I dig my toes into the sand. Bye bye, bitch. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. You like Incubus? Oh, too bad.
Yeah.
It's such like a chill band for their
I know. That was what I thought too the whole time. I was like, this music is way too chill for us to have almost gotten in a fight here.
Especially, like they used to play hard stuff. Like in the night, they're kind of like I think Red Hot Chili Peppers like that. They played more like sort of metal.
Yeah.
And it's like this isn't their old stuff, man. This is the new stuff, man.
Yeah.
I wish you were here.
I feel like the thing that was weird to me about Incubus was I feel like each member of the band was trying to be like their own like Marvel superhero within this fucking like movie. Like each one was like they like had so much like they were already social distance in 2010 when I saw them. Like their stage was so huge and like each person had like their own little set to like show how good they are. Like the guy on the drums would have his little like everyone had their little moment to show how good they were,
And they're one of those late 90s, early 2000s rock bands that had a DJ.
Yep, that was what I was going to say. Is one of the guys in the band is a DJ, is the other thing.
When it's like, what do you do, man?
Yeah.
you turn the volume up?
Yeah.
Are you like the PA guy? What are you?
I mean, I guess that
because they're playing music. You don't have to play any music.
Every once in a while, though, he would just like, he would do some stuff. He'd like mix some things around, and you're like, oh, cool.
What if it turns out that guy was Deadmau5?
It could be.
Like was Deadmau5 the guy in the Limp Bizkit band?
Limp Bizkit?
Before he was, remember they had a DJ? DJ Lethal. I'll put it on. I know too much about Limp Bizkit.
That's why you've been in fights, Jordan, is you know so much about Limp Bizkit.
I've been in a couple. One or two. Not a ton, but I've been in some.
Yeah, I love the action figures.
Oh, yeah.
Too,
if you needed to...
I like this one. I actually do remember like this. Like I remember having wrestling action figures as a kid, very similar to this, and having them get in fights. I definitely remember like having these guys like beat each other up.
I've got like a wrestling ring back in my parents' place in Michigan.
Yeah.
With like 30 of these.
Oh hell yeah!
These are just a couple of the favorites.
Dude, they're good ones. Good choices.
I love Dwayne.
Hell yeah!
You know the truth about Dwayne Johnson is?
What's that?
It's much like Batman. Batman is who he is. Batman's not Bruce Wayne.
Okay.
Bruce Wayne is this character that Batman puts on. to the world.
Okay, interesting.
Same with Dwayne Johnson.
Oh yeah,
That's not he is the Rock. He is the Rock. He just puts on Dwayne Johnson. So Smiley, get a smoothie here, there, but he's the Rock. He's the great
Rock.
one.
Yeah, he was unbelievable. Do you think that he knew at this stage in his life, when he had the hair and the bull tattoo, that he was going to be the Dwayne the Rock Johnson that we know and love today?
No, I think.
Did he have any idea?
He probably thought he was going to end his life as a bouncer at a strip club.
Yeah,
eventually.
Yeah.
You know,
he was like played college football though, right? He played like at a high level.
he played at University of Miami.
Yeah.
Played in the Canadian Football League for a minute, and then he comes from a wrestling family. So
Right.
he went
That's
into
cool,
the
man.
biz. And he's like the best wrestler ever, too.
Yeah. Is he your favorite wrestler?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think that's fair.
He is for sure. All right, fights. Is there any other fights?
Man, I can remember a fight on a school bus that I can share.
Okay.
This was a fun.
Can you share
fun
some
time.
of the? Wait, this is.
I was a kid.
Yeah, you were.
I was a kid.
Yeah.
I was a kid on a school bus, and I remember there was like I sat down. I don't even remember what happened. I remember like these dudes, like a couple rows in front of me. Clearly, they sit next to each other in the booth, and clearly something gets exchanged, and they just start hitting each other, and they just start fighting each other. And the bus driver like pulls over and like breaks them up and makes the one kid sit in the front, goes sit in the front of the bus by her. And like I remember thinking like, whoa, that was crazy.
Get the crazy one up here, bitch.
And so I'm like, wow, what a crazy thing. And that's so crazy that's all that's going to happen, And then like we park at school, and as soon as the bus parks, this kid stands up and runs back down the fucking aisle and just starts beating the hell out of this kid, like really beating him up, like really bad. And like we're all like in the bus just screaming. I was probably in like 8th grade.
Damn, those are getting to be strong kids at that. That's
then they were high schoolers.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was a gnarly one. Like we were picking up like because our school bus did middle school and high school kids.
Gotcha.
So we were both. That was crazy.
Yeah.
There was a few fights on that bus, man.
So wait, this is your normal route?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
School. I rode the bus up until about middle school, and that's where I had my first fight ever too.
On a bus?
Yeah, a school bus too.
See?
School buses have it's like school too. There's school and then there's school bus.
Yeah.
It's like because you ride it every day with the same people. People sit in the same spot.
Yeah.
Like
There's
desk.
cliques formed,
It's your other
friendships
class.
made. Yep.
Big time. People do shit. Maybe
Uh-huh.
people jerk each other. I don't know.
I remember that was like the first time that I saw kids like chewing tobacco was on the bus, like trying that shit.
Oh yeah, people get in big trouble.
Yeah.
I remember like pull the bus over and fucking make your parents come pick you up type shit if someone was drinking or some shit.
I remember one kid knew he was in trouble, like he already fucked up on the bus really bad. And so, like, we all knew on the bus that he was in trouble, and it was just a matter of getting to his stop. And so we get to the stop before his. And when the bus driver gets off the bus to help the kids cross, this kid just goes, fuck this, I'm out of here. And he kicks open the emergency exit door and just runs home and just runs away. He just went home.
I have so much, because back then I couldn't. I'm like, I'll go to prison for the rest of my life. I do something like that.
I know. That's like, I still think the balls on this kid.
That loud ass noise goes off because you kick the emergency exit.
That
was crazy. You had to. Oh man, the school bus. This kid Ivan Caldwell, when I was like in kindergarten or first grade, he tried punching Earl fucking not Skakel. He's Earl Cheeks.
Okay.
He tried punching this kid Earl Cheeks and he missed. He punched me and this kid Ivan. He looked like his name was Ivan.
Oh man.
He was like a beast. He looked like Ernie Stone, but as a kindergartner, like that. Fucking, and he with a head, and he fucking plowed me in the face on accident. He actually didn't mean to, but he was like the bully of the fucking shit. Anyways.
Oh, so it was like,
I think
you're done, buddy.
I punched him back, and then I sat behind him and I cried like the rest of the way home because I was like in pain.
Yeah, because it hurts.
And
to punch
I was like
somebody.
the little kid, so everyone felt bad for me and everyone was pissed at him.
And
I kept reaching over and like pulling his hair.
Oh wow!
And they just let me. And like the bus, like, everyone's like,
dude, you get away with so much on the bus.
Yeah.
Man, come on.
That was my first fight that I remember.
That's amazing. How old were you for that?
I was 5.
5.
6.
Yeah. I remember like, that young, man, I remember like some kids like getting in fights, but it was never like that was just like pushing them down and stuff. Nothing crazy, you know.
Yeah, for us it was on the playground, a little shoving. No one to catch a fist, like, because that was the big threat. People were like, I'll punch you in the face.
Yeah.
It's like, don't make me punch you in the face, because I see that in movies, and we're fighting.
And I love when, like you said, like when someone realizes, like, oh, if you punch something, like you don't walk away unscathed.
Yeah.
Like punching something sucks. Even if you win, that sucks.
You break your hand.
I broke my hand punching a jet ski, dude, in high school.
Why'd you punch a jet? Okay, why'd you have a fight with a jet ski?
Yeah, that was the one fight I guess I had was I was on a jet ski, man. I was at Lake Havasu.
Ooh.
Yeah, great trip, family fun. You know,
didn't think you'd be punching that jet ski by the end of the trip.
No. We're with my parents. My dad is a great dad because he has a friend with a boat, you know. So we're going with the family with the boat to Lake Havasu, and we're having a great time. We rent a couple jet skis one day, and they go, okay, one of these jet skis has the gas, like with the guys, you know, we rent it from. They're like, one of these jet skis has a gas fuel tank gauge, and the other one doesn't have a gauge. But if you ride them the same amount, you know when you're out of gas on both of them. All right, fine. We go out there. I'm riding my little jet ski. Runs out of gas. And I'm just out there floating. And, like, Lake Havasu's big, man. I don't know if you've been to Lake Havasu.
Not.
It's big. Boats go fast as hell out there. I was just sitting out there not being able to move. Didn't like it. Wasn't having a great time, you know?
I'd be afraid of sharks.
Yeah, right? Dude, it's scary out there. It is deep. It's deep. Who knows?
There's got to be sharks in here.
That's kind of how I feel, too. Is there's something down there that I don't want to run into for sure. Yeah. And so my dad, like, pulls up in the boat, you know, and my dad's, like, just doing all the shit of like, all right, did you try turning it off? Turn it back on. Like, yes, Dad, I've been out here for a half hour already. Like,
did you try something?
Yeah.
Nah, I figured I'd wait till you show up, asshole.
That's exactly how I'm feeling, you know? And so he's like, okay, take the key out, try, you know, just walking me through all the stuff. And I'm like, it's not working. It's not going to work. And I had it. I was so upset. And I punched the steering wheel of the jet ski. Mm-hmm. It looked like it was kind of soft on that part, you know?
It wasn't.
Not that soft, man. Like, softer than maybe the other part of it, which is just the fucking metal or plastic. But, like, you don't want to punch it. And I broke my hand, man. I broke this bone right here.
Fuck. Did you go to the hospital? Or
dude. We went like 3 days before I went to the hospital because my dad said, I was like, Dad, I think I broke my hand. My dad goes, if your hand was broke, you'd know it. Like,
right.
Kind of think.
That's me telling you
was that. But,
all right, okay. I know I broke my hand. I rephrased the question.
So then we go like a day or two more, and my hand just balloons up, looks like a fucking boxing glove all swollen. Like, all right, let's go to the doctor. Take me down, put me in the cast.
I told you so.
Yeah, I had the cast on for however many weeks. It sucked.
That really sucks.
Yeah. But yeah, that was definitely when I learned, like, okay, I'm not going to punch anything ever again. You know?
Certainly not a person.
Certainly not a person. Certainly not a jet ski.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Well, is that all the fights? That wraps it up, right? Eh?
I mean, I think so. Is that how we do it?
That is how we, yeah. Unless you got another fight somewhere hidden
no, I
in
feel
there.
Good. That feels like all of the fights.
And okay, now let's talk about domestic abuse. How many times have you hit a woman?
Never. Not once. Not once.
That's for my Patreon. All right, man. Well, thanks for doing this.
Yeah, man. I appreciate it, Jordan.
This is a fight podcast. Listen to Bryan's Invade the Decade.
Yeah, Invade the Decade.
Sometimes I'm on it.
Sometimes Jordan's on it. We got to have him on again soon. We talk about movies and TV shows and music from certain
talk about this
decades.
Talk about this muscle if you're watching on video. Talk about the muscle. Mm-hmm. Take that, Incubus. All right. I wish you were here.